du point, du lac, my man, my husband, the vampire Adlet drain me dry any day of the week. The most recent episode of the Vampire Lestat has given me so much to talk about, but today's video is gonna have to focus on Louis and his revenge that he got on behalf of Claudia. May she rest in peace and power. If you remember, season 1 of Interview with the Vampire, Louis and Lestat ended up turning a little girl named Claudia. Now, in the books, she is much younger than she is in the show, but still, you can tell she is developmentally behind them, at least physically. It's a tragic sort of life where you're stuck in a young girl's body, but mentally you're still aging. So I'm trying to remember. She must have been like 40 or 50 or so when she decided to go out on her own as a vampire, but physically she must have been like 13. At least that's how we're supposed to interpret the character in the show. Now, she leaves because she recognizes that Lestat is kind of stifling their lives. Not only is Lestat abusive, and no, we cannot argue about that, Lestat and Louis are abusive, but Lestat has not taught them much about other vampires. And Claudia assumes that there has to be a better way of living than the one Lestat has taught them. So naturally, she goes out and she tries to seek out other vampires. Now, unfortunately, she does not find a kind vampire. She is on a university and she experiences racism from some of the white students. And here comes a vampire who defends her, and she's fascinated by him. This is the first vampire she's met outside of her family, her little small family of Lestat and Louis. Bruce, the new vampire that she meets, is charming, tells her stories, and is sitting by a campfire. Now, Bruce reveals that he can hear Louis' voice across state lines calling for Claudia to come back home. And I guess this is what made him come looking for Claudia. He wants to see who is this person who has someone yearning for her. Unfortunately, Bruce is not as nice as he seems, and he takes advantage of Claudia. Now, this is sickening for several reasons. First, because he forced her. Second, because she is in the body of a child. So, several sick things are happening here. And Bruce is a grown man, grown vampire, whatever. He's disgusting. What makes this worse is that he breaks her spine, right? And we see this in the episode from the first season of Interview with the Vampire. He breaks her spine, and then the scene cuts so we don't see what else he does. But when Claudia ends up returning home to Lestat and Louis, Lestat is able to see that, she's changed. He can't read her mind, but Lestat can tell something wrong has happened, but Claudia refuses to speak about it. Now, throughout the series, we know that Claudia has had a diary. However, pages are missing. Pages were ripped out. So when Daniel comes to interview Louis and he has pieces of Claudia's diary and he's using it to write the book, he doesn't have access to this, and Louis refuses to provide this to him. He just says it's lost. Skip ahead to now. Vampire Lestat, latest episode, I think it's episode 3. Daniel reveals he knows Bruce. He knows where Bruce is. Now, how many decades has passed? I don't even know. But Claudia is gone now. Louis is acting like he's not super affected by what Daniel has said, but we can clearly see as soon as he says he knows where Bruce is, Louis has activated, okay? Louis is not playing. He found a clone, I guess, of Claudia, a human clone, and he low-key stalks her, okay? He's not gonna do anything to her, but he misses Claudia so much. This is like one of the biggest failures of his life, losing Claudia, especially the way he did, the traumatic way he did. And honestly, Lestat too. Lestat wanted Claudia to live. Now, the next couple of scenes are insane, because not only does Louis track down the house where this Bruce guy lives, but also takes down the rest of his coven. At the same time, we're seeing flashbacks of how Lestat became a vampire. This creepy guy named Marius was fascinated by Lestat back in the day. He thought he was talented. He was, and he just wanted a piece of his life. This guy, I don't know what's up with him. I gotta look this up. He looked disgusting. His teeth are rotted. I don't know what's up with his eyes. He looks like he's oozing oil, like he sweats oil. I don't know what's up with this dude. But he kidnaps copies of Lestat and drains them, kills them, whatever. Finally, he takes Lestat. Lestat tells Daniel in his interview that all he did was lock him up, torture him, whatever. That's not all he did. He violated Lestat the same way that Claudia was violated by Bruce. And then he turned Lestat into a vampire without his permission. And we see Lestat losing his mind while he's reliving this while he's driving. And at the same time, Louis is waiting at the house he found out Bruce lives in. And Bruce returns to see his coven is in shambles. Heads are missing. People's spines. I don't know what's going on here. But Bruce comes in and he has a new girl. And he just got married. Louis seemingly leaves the wife alive. He just throws her out of the room. And also, sidebar, I'm so excited to see that Louis inherited like the ability to fly from Lestat. Like, these dudes are so OP. Like, I just love them. Anyway, he's dramatically sitting there waiting for Bruce to return home, covered in blood. Bruce tries to attack him, but Louis is fast as hell. Mind you, I assumed, maybe I'm wrong about this, I assumed Bruce was older than Louis. Even so, Louis seems stronger, faster, or just angrier. Louis is able to dodge his attack, rip out a piece of his spine the same way he did Claudia. Breaks his jaw. And Bruce still has the audacity to say Claudia's name. Now, Louis pulls out the missing pages from Claudia's diary and reads from it. And it is so heartbreaking. I had this here so I could read it, but honestly, I don't think I can. In short, it talks about how she was stuck with him for days. He would violate her, but then he would also bring her humans to eat. And she felt guilty because she felt grateful when he would feed her. Eventually, when she had no fight left in her, he would let her go. And that's when she ended up returning to Louis and Lestat. Now, Louis had these pages carefully preserved, so he must have been carrying them around forever. He reads them to Bruce, and then he sets the pages on fire and lights Bruce on fire with the pages. I'm sorry, you guys are gonna think I'm weird for this. It was beautiful. The whole scene was beautiful. It was tragic. I wish Claudia were alive to get her own revenge, but Louis had to do it. It's also super tragic that they did not learn more about Lestat and how he came to be a vampire, and instead of Lestat helping or bonding with Claudia over this shared trauma, he furthered her trauma. Like, it's just people hurt people, hurting people, hurting people. On and on. And I still can't believe Armand is still out here. I want to hate Armand so much because he could have also saved Claudia. Like, he's at fault for her death. But also, he's also a complex character, and I love him and Daniel, and all these characters are grimy as hell. Every last one of them, but I still love them. Especially Louis, my king, my love, my heart. Could drain me 6 ways from Sunday and on Sunday, the Lord's Day. Pray for me, y'all. But I cannot wait to see what comes next. Tell me, what have you loved so far about the new Vampire Lestat series? I cannot believe we're already 3 episodes deep. I need them to make these seasons longer. But also, I need to see Lestat kill Gabrielle, because Gabrielle and Lestat's relationship, disgusting. Disgusting. But I'll see you guys later. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and I'll check back with you later.